Hello, in this video we're going to share some tricks and tips. Now clearly I'm camping in the Go Fast Camper V2 version. Some of this will apply to rooftop tent and also the V1 and probably maybe even the Pro. So come along, we're going to rewind to last night and get right into it. Hello everyone, Mark and Teresa from Out of Office Camping. It is January the 20th, I think that's right. And it is going to be one of the coldest nights that I've had the opportunity to sleep. Teresa's planning on sleeping out tomorrow. We're just camping here at the farm. And you know it's pretty cold when it's supposed to get down to like 4 degrees tonight, tomorrow night like 3. And I've only slept in 11, so I really wanted to see how it felt, basically how the systems are working, so try everything out. And that's really the whole goal here. But you know it's pretty bad. I don't know if you can really, this shows up or not, but like all on the ceiling there's like these little crystals from just me getting in here and just kind of getting everything like cleaned up, or not cleaned up, but all organized and ready to go. So you know the condensation is basically just freezing. It's just crazy. Gonna get the heater going here in a little bit. I have one more blanket to bring up. I wrapped the diesel heater tube with the socks that we do, the fleecy blankets. I'll show you that in the morning. So like I said, the biggest thing is to see how like the power station does and everything else. So give it a whirl, see what works and what doesn't. So basically, I want to get into some of the things that I find for personal gear. Now, my microphone died, so it's too cold. It's like 13 degrees right now. But I'm going to go ahead and start off with some things, and hopefully you can hear me okay. Hand warmers. Always have hand warmers. This is electronic USB rechargeable hand warmer, but this is really awesome. Come summertime, you can just basically plug it in a cord and use it as a battery bank. So something to always have, but also you can get the just a regular packs of hand warmers, back warmers, feet warmers, and they're great. You can throw them in your sleep bag, you can throw them in a cooler if you need to keep your power station warm, things like that. So always have those. The little trick with those is put them in a Ziploc bag and it cuts off the oxygen. You can reuse it. So say you're like setting up camp and you just need to have it for just like 10 minutes to get your hands warm back up, but you're like, oh, I don't want to open up a pack. Throw it in a Ziploc and that should cut off the oxygen. Should be able to reuse it. So with that, moving on, personal gear also, same thing. When it's really cold, have a heated vest here. This is great. Lots of different products out there. This one's a 7-volt. Has just the battery bank right here. Milwaukee makes one with the 12-volt battery, so if you happen to have the Milwaukee tools, you can use that. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the truck now, talk about the power station and the diesel heater. Moving in to the power station. I basically have mine set up in just a little blanket. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it can't hurt. I like to keep mine in the cab because that way, if I have to, I can start at the truck and get the heater going. Power stations, every power station is going to vary, but they will not take a charge under certain temperatures. This one's obviously been operating. There also might be a cutoff. You can get batteries these days, just like build your own system with built-in warmers to keep the batteries warmed up so that they will take a charge. You can also probably do like an electric blanket around that, but this one's been working good, but I will have to get it warmed back up in order to charge it. If you're getting into this, I like the 1,000 watt power stations because they're small enough you can still kind of carry them around, but they're not too big. So you can have like, I think 2,000 watts is kind of nice for like most of the stuff that we do. We're actually running over 4,000 watts because sometimes we'll go on some trips and we might just be camping, not overlanding, and we're not really running the truck. We do have a Pecron DC-DC charger, which gives us 500 watts back into the system when I'm driving the truck, which is great. And then I have the Bouge RV SIGs 300 watt panels on the roof up there. But anyway, so power stations. Now, one little thing I had mentioned about the hand warmers. Say you have a small power station and you want to just make sure it's going to recharge, or you can take some hand warmers, throw them in a cooler, put the power station in there, and that, you know, should actually allow it to kind of stay warm, be working just fine. So this power station's been using about 25 to 27 watts running the diesel heater, which, you know, I've run this from, you know, 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and I've used, I'll say, about a gallon of fuel so far. And that's running it on the highest yellows, which I don't really think you can see at all on here, but I'll put a picture into that. So pretty much in the yellow range, that's about 20 watts to about 27 watts, 25 on the Valkyrie. This is the 5K diesel heater. So that cord I just kind of have running right into the truck. So moving on into the, well, actually the other thing is, yes, the blankets. We like to do the blankets. The other thing that really cracks me up, I see so many people with these hoses. You need to stick with a diesel heater hose. People, come on, man. Stop using those freaking air dryer hoses. They put off gases. I'm telling you. And not to mention, think about if you were to run water through it, what do you think's going to run water through faster? This hose or one of those like corrugated hoses, air dryers? So you're slowing down your heat. You want your heat to get into your camper. So moving on, enough of that rant. Blanket. So this is the fleece blanket doubled up. And this is a 6 foot section, 6 foot 6.5, like 6 foot 6 inches. You can buy these, and then you can get couplers. Got all those links somewhere. Then you have the twisty ties. Wrap that, they work great. The night eyes, they're probably one of the best ones out there. I'll put links to all that stuff. Moving into the truck. So the first thing is, you want a trash bag for your shoes and boots. You're gonna take those up with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop up there, get off my shoes and jump up. So you definitely want to take your shoes with you, otherwise your feet get cold. Hey, and one thing I didn't mention, but on the diesel heater, you want to make sure in the colder temperatures you consider adding a diesel like degeller or a gel system that keeps your fuel from gelling up. I think, yeah. Keep your diesel fuel from gelling up with an additive. There you go. So let's go ahead and hop up, but I'll include a photo of the product that I use. All right, time to talk about the upper portion of the Go Fast camper. So I got my mic working again. I had it in my pocket for a while. So let's go ahead and turn around here. It's not too bright. But basically, what I want to share with you is just a few things that you should just keep in mind. Obviously, you're running a diesel heater. You want to make sure that you have your CO in your setup. Also, you know, when I bring the exhaust hose up, you know, just kind of use one of the bungee cords. I have my little remote here. And if I had one more pipe, you know, your units, typically most diesel heaters come with another short pipe. So you can get the coupler and you can get a little bit longer. Normally I have mine going all the way up. And what's nice is having it up there, it kind of like swings back down. And then I can kind of move it different directions. So sometimes getting the air on me just feels really good. So with the setup here, all my jackets and stuff, first thing I'll do is once I kind of get up, take all my jackets and I kind of spread them around onto the sides to kind of, you know, just keep that, especially with this, since I have the V2 camper, the GFC V2, you know, that's open on the bottom. You know, once again, people always kind of say, oh, you know, it's like a deal breaker or whatever. I really don't find that to be like horrible. So I just take my big jacket and I'll just kind of slide it there. So that's what I'll do with that. A couple things, basically the setup that I had and what I found with everything here was that the platform itself was really pretty chilly. So one thing definitely that I found that I did that I expected was going to be the case is I put down a down comforter that I have. So basically I just have like the down comforter here, which is what I'm using to lay on. And then from there I have my HEST which is only rated for 40. It's just a synthetic. This is not a down comfort. This is synthetic. And then on top of that, I just have an old North Face sleeping bag, which is also a synthetic, which is rated for down to 30. So zero bag basically. But, so those have been they worked out really well. So with the platform being chilly, that's probably the only thing that I really experienced that it was just, because the temperatures from down below were kind of coming up. I have my HEST pillow, which was great. And then to keep things from sliding back, same thing. I just take like any of my bedding bags and stuff like that, and I kind of shove them up into the back. So the truck itself is actually pitched 2 degrees up. So it's basically, so I already have like a natural wedge kind of built in. The other thing that I have, it's kind of bright here, but the Devos light, this is the 2000 newer one, is really nice. And you can, work that with the app. But what I like about this one, well, actually all of them that they have, is this now, when I'm not using it, I can use it as a battery charger. So, if, I have my phone up here, I can just basically run in a C to C cable to charge up my phone or any other devices. So, it's one of those things, like sometimes you're like, oh man, I need to charge something. So long as you just keep a cable in your upper, camp setup, that's all you need. Now the other thing is, obviously with this setup here, I have these are the HEST platform. This is, the GFC has the transformer floor, so all these floor systems basically pull out like you saw when I popped up. But this is the HEST mattress. This is 4-inch. So that's another nice thing with that, is that it's got a really nice R value compared to, well, what came with it was only 2 inches. So that helped also. Highly suggest, if you have one of the V2s that you consider upgrading to one of the thicker pads, either the HEST or the Turbo Mat. The Turbo Mat from GFC is only 3 inches. So to me, having that extra inch of comfort, and it just adds up to a good night's sleep. Totally worth it. It was like one of the biggest purchases that I've made for the Go Fast Camper, and actually all the HEST products. We have the affiliate links for the HEST, the Devos. It's just products we believe in. You probably saw also in the opening the SeaSucker. So I have on the side of the truck the SeaSucker, which is a suction mounting solution. They have all kinds of stuff, and that's holding the diesel for the diesel heater. So I think that pretty much sums it up. The other little thing, like a couple other small things, just make sure that it's nice if you have like your little wipes up here. If you have to hop down to use your bathroom, it's going to be chilly. But hand wipes, keeping them from freezing, keep them up in your upper. If you need the same thing with your power station, smaller power station could easily fit like right up in your space here. So that's something that you could do, and then you could be powering up, even like say, like we always keep an electric blanket in the vehicle. All our vehicles have like a 12-volt electric blanket. So there's some way to like have some, like if the diesel heater stops working, the fuel gels up, whatever, you have some way to be comfortable. You're gonna get a lot of condensation on the ceiling, but just something else. So the other thing Teresa got me, Caden's Adventures, as a fellow we follow, has got a GFC. He had these, and they're just freaking awesome. So they're like little booties, little downfill booties, and I don't like to wear socks when I sleep at night, and these are nice because they don't they're very lightweight. So these things were freaking awesome. The other thing that's helpful to have is just like an extra like fleecy blanket of some sort, polar fleece blanket. So that way, same thing, like as you can see, like right here, I took my down vest and I have that like wrapped around. Also down here, I still have, the other thing that I do is I take the towels. I take like a towel of some sort, and I'll wrap that around and put it in the zipper. A friend of ours, Dan Honeyman, had that idea, which I thought was great, and that's really worked out well. So it's kind of like an easy way to kind of like close up the gap and let your heater. Now this will obviously work also in any kind of rooftop tent. Most of these little tricks and tips will work in just about any kind of rooftop tent or other types of setup. So hope you found that really helpful. If you did, please take the time to like and subscribe to our channel. we appreciate you following along, and we'll see you out there. We're gonna camp some more tonight. Alrighty, take care. So there's actually 3 other things that I was thinking about that I did not mention, and I should have. So a nice little thing that Teresa made is like an up and down bag. Anytime you're kind of coming up and down, whether it's a rooftop tent or a wedge camper, whatever, you know, once you get up, you don't want to go back down. So if you just set yourself up some kind of bag that you put all your stuff in, like reading glasses, whatever, snacks, you name it. Anyhow, up and down bag. Next, it's pretty common sense, but if you have a wedge camper and you're new to this, you always want to make sure that it's pointed in towards the wind. Now, of course, that if you're camped somewhere, and like in my situation, I was hoping maybe I could get sun. With these temps, I can't charge up the power station because it's too cold. It's not going to turn on. But if, no matter what, point it into the wind. The wedge portion into the wind. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is with these colder temperatures, and last and least, keep your diesel heater running until you're completely like ready to go close up the camper, because the colder temperatures might cause the materials to be a lot stiffer than they are when it's kind of warmed up. So keep your heater running till it's time to like actually shut your tent and bring it down. And that's it. Alrighty. If I think anything else, I'll let you know. One of the last things I was thinking about, it's kind of common sense, but it's also like, oh yeah. So once again, if your materials are really stiff and it's really, 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 really cold out and it's hard to close it up, the new GFC V Pro has the 3-inch memory foam in it now. And then I have the HEST 4-inch sleep system, which is absolutely amazing. But just take out your mattresses. And by the way, if you need to upgrade, the HEST mattresses, 4 inches of pure sleep. Totally worth it. Discount code and link in the description below. Of course, it doesn't work with the Transformer floor, Dually 50, but it works on everything else. Thank you again.